So this case study was called Middle School Level Education Civic Service Project, and it was an article that talked about doing projects at the middle school level. So it's typical for schools to start at the high school level and having the students do projects as their requirement to graduate. So it's just kind of a project that they come up with for the community to benefit the community, and they have to research it and find resources and solutions to help the community be a better place by solving a problem. So the article focuses on 5 different key points or gains that would why we should do this at the middle school level. And the first one talks about higher development of self-esteem. So it says that this can be accomplished because failure is not an option, like students will succeed when they do this, that there's no competition and the competition would be within themselves if there is any competition. The second key point was heightened degree of correlation of subject matter areas. So the options are endless for subject matters. You could come up with a problem and incorporate art, math, science. So there's unlimited resources for the students to choose. The third one is increased degree of involvement of parents and community. So if the project's purpose is meant to benefit the community, then the community should be involved. And they will help support the academic inquiry and finding solutions for the project. So this is something that parents could not do for them, but help give them ideas, and the community could help give them ideas. And the goal is that the community will be involved because they're like, hey, they're middle school right now, but eventually they will become citizens of the community where they can vote. So it's important they're aware of what's happening and how they can go about fixing this problem. The fourth key point is heightened student cooperative learning. So students are working together. They might be working together as partners directly, or they might be indirectly helping each other, like, hey, I'll help look over this for you, or hey, I found this and it's perfect for your project. So just students coming together to help each other out and learning about partnership and teamwork. The fifth key point was about more opportunities for positive middle level communication with the community. So overall, it helps give the students, the school, especially middle school age level, a more positive image in the community. So the news might do an article and be like, hey, this school district is having their students do a really awesome project before they go to high school. And it just gives them, the community, more awareness of what's going on. And then it gives 10 guidelines, like how can we do this? How can we make this happen at the middle school level? And it gives some good details. What grade level should be involved? Should we start having them do this at the elementary level all the way to the high school level? Should we do it at the middle school level and then they do like more to it when they get to their high school project, or should their high school project be completely different? How do we get committee groups? How do we get finding local resources and getting them involved in this? And it also helps determine guidelines for students. Should they be able to work in partners? If so, how many partners can they work in? And kind of just the overall like rubric for this. Like how will we monitor students making progress? Or how will we just like how do we know that their project has been accomplished and the goal has been met? So as a teacher, I think this is important to look at since I am going for middle school age children. It makes me aware of things that we can be doing instead of waiting until high school when they're adults and getting ready to start college or whatever they decide to do. Maybe at the middle school age level, we can be looking at like, hey, what can we do to benefit them and make this easier in the high school level? So they can start with the foundation at middle school, and then once they get to high school before they graduate and they have to do it, then allowing them to have the foundation and just building onto it and having more ideas, more resources. And I think could potentially be a great idea because students can look at things that like, hey, this really bugs me, I really want to do something about this, and it can be something that interests them. So I think there might be some difficulties of students not knowing where to begin. And as an adult, I don't want to do it for them, but I want to help guide them and like scaffold them into like what can they be doing. Like they might be like, okay, here's the problem, but how do we go about fixing it? And I can help point them in the right direction. if this is not a thing at my school district, I can bring it up and be like, hey, we do this in high school. Why don't we try and do something with it in the middle school level? And just getting them more aware of like the benefits of it and how we do this. And it doesn't have to be anything huge. We could, at the middle school level, start small and just have them come up with possible problems and solutions, or they don't actually have to act on it at the middle school level, but just have them maybe write a paper about it, and they can like brainstorm ideas and talk to different people in the community to help get them started. And then once they have to do it at the high school level, they can look at it and actually go about completing those actions. I think there could be some difficulties doing this at the middle level. It's hard when you can't drive if your parents aren't very involved and you're relying on other people, or maybe to reach out to some of your resources or your community. You might just have to call them or email them instead of going and meeting with them. I think there could be other drawbacks, but as a student or as a teacher and as a school, you have to be aware of these and realize that not every situation is the same, and some people are limited on resources. But I think this is a great way to help prepare students for high school and prepare them for life out of high school by allowing them to become lifelong learners. And our article had mentioned, like, hey, these people will be voting soon, they need to be aware of what's going on.